Suppose you are a kid who is legally required to live with only one of your living parents, even though you are torn between the two of them. How would that affect your trust, stability, and sense of value? The majority of us are aware of friends, family, or even ourselves who have already experienced divorce. The mental health of children, parental rights, and enduring family ties are all impacted by custody agreements. In order to comprehend the emotional and legal consequences of custody decisions, I have read research from academic journals, international studies, and even policy reports. The default legal arrangement in child custody disputes should be joint custody since it fosters long-term family cooperation, lessens legal bias, and safeguards the emotional well-being of children. So today, I will begin by showing how sole custody can harm children. Then, I will explain how gender bias and outdated laws cause this issue. And lastly, I will propose joint custody as a practical and evidence-based solution. So now, first let's examine the effects of current custody laws on the child, who is the most significant party in this case. Sole custody harms children's development and emotional well-being. Due to the absence of one parent, children with sole custody are more likely to suffer from behavioral issues, anxiety, and depression. These symptoms are often invisible at first, like a child who suddenly becomes withdrawn, loses interest in school, or cries more often than usual. But over time, these signs grow into a more serious emotional disturbance that affect their development into adulthood. According to Franson 2016, kids with joint custody fare better and experience fewer psychosomatic complaints than kids with sole custody. These complaints include the emotional stress that occurs physically, such as headache, stomach aches, and most significantly, trouble sleeping. When a child loses regular contact with a parent, it affects their sense of safety, especially at night. They may lie awake worrying why their parent can't come home or blame themselves for the separation. These are not simple sleep issues. They are deep psychological stress responses. Additionally, they exhibit stronger social development, reduce stress, and improve academic performance. Children with joint custody often report a more stable home life because they don't feel forced to choose between parents. When both parents remain involved in their day-to-day activities such as schools, meals, holidays, the child experiences a sense of normalcy that sole custody often disrupts. Identity problems can arise when one parent stops being consistently involved, particularly during adolescence. This stage of life is already full of emotional challenges. For children in sole custody, the lack of consistent connection with one parent, often the father, can leave them struggle with a missing piece of their identity. They might ask, why isn't he around? Or does she still care about me? These thoughts build insecurity, and that insecurity follows them for years. But despite all of this evidence, why is sole custody still widely used? The problem is the legal system is still influenced by outdated gender roles and systemic bias. Even when both parents are able and willing to co-parent, courts frequently presume that mothers are the primary carers. This assumption often overrides actual facts about who is more available, more emotionally supportive, and more financially stable. Even though they are equally qualified in many circumstances, fathers are only granted custody in 17.5% of cases based on a study by Carl 2022. This figure isn't based on parental ability, it's based on stereotype. The idea that fathers can nurture all that children only need their mother's care is a belief that no longer fits our modern parenting reality. Judges have been swayed by historical conventions such as the tender years doctrine to automatically grant maternal custody. This outdated philosophy assumes that children, especially younger ones, always belong with the mother, but studies now show that both parents play essential roles in child's development regardless of gender. Due to gender stereotypes, fathers are frequently left out while mothers are expected to demonstrate that they are perfect. This unfairly burdens the mothers while robbing fathers of their rights. In the end, the child loses the most. Fathers may still be denied equal parenting rights even if they have more time or are more financially secure. They may live closer to the child's school, have more flexibility in their work schedules, or maybe the primary emotional support, but none of that may matter in court. So now let's discuss the solution and its advantages for all parties. Default legal arrangement in custody cases create fairness and benefit both children and parents. Joint custody laws minimize conflict in the courtroom and expensive legal battles by assuming that both parents begin on an equal basis. Fathers don't enter court as rivals, they enter as a co-parents seeking balance. States and nations with joint custody laws have seen improved child outcomes, stronger co-parenting bonds, and less stress from divorce. Children are less likely to experience emotional confusion when both parents remain involved and accessible. A balanced upbringing and a lower chance of parental alienation result from shared parenting, which promotes emotional support from both parents. It creates an environment where children don't feel torn or forced to take sides. Joint custody laws have been linked to better academic outcomes, better mental health for children, and a decrease in male suicide rates, according to a study by Martin Haller in 2015. This means children thrive and fathers too feel supported and valued. Additionally, shared custody guarantees that both parents contribute equally and frequently lowers child support disputes, which promotes economic justice when both share time, both also share responsibility. Now we have come to the end. The existing system is obviously ineffective and we are capable of improving it. Children suffer from sole custody, outdated gender roles are still favored by legal system. Everyone gains from the equitable, scientifically supported solution of joint custody. So, since children require both parents, not just one, let's push for reforms that make joint custody the official beginning point in all custody disputes. There should be no parent-child choice. The law ought to decide what is the best for both for them. Thank you.